In this video, we are going to go through two application problems involving trig. So we got to kind of read through the problem and let's draw a picture and figure out what it is that we are looking for and what we're trying to solve. All right, so first one is you have a surveyor locates 2 points on a steel column so that it can be set plumb, which means it's just going to be perpendicular. So it's straight up and down. If the angle of elevation is 15 degrees and the surveyor's transit is 175 feet from the column. So the transit is just kind of the machine that they're looking through. Find the distance from the transit, point A, to the upper point B. Okay, so let's make sense of this. So you have a column that is meant to be plumb. Okay, so it's meant to be perpendicular to the ground, or vertical basically. And the tripod, whatever the machine is that the surveyor is using is over here, and that is point A. And we have this, not drawn accurately at all, we have this angle of elevation to the top of the column. All right, that's supposed to be 15 degrees. So it says we have an angle of elevation, 15 degrees, if the surveyor's transit is 175 feet from the column. So that's 175. All right, and then we're going to find the distance from the transit, point A, to the upper point of the column, point B. So we're looking for that. All right, so since we got ourselves a right triangle, because we're making this thing perpendicular, we are looking at a SOHCAHTOA kind of thing. All right, so with that being said, we are going to try to figure out which of these trig functions should we use. It's all dependent upon the information that we have. So we have an angle, and from this angle, we have an adjacent side, and this is a hypotenuse. So that means we are looking at cosine. So cosine of an angle equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 15 degrees is going to equal adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, and then if we go about solving this, we are going to try to clear out our fractions. So we'll multiply both sides by the denominator, which is x, clear that out. That leaves us with x times cosine of 15 degrees equals 175. And then we're going to have to undo this multiplication by dividing. So divide by cosine of 15 on both sides. That way it cancels on that side. So our height, or our distance from where the surveyor equipment is to the top of the column is whatever that turns out to be. So I don't know. So we'll throw this in a calculator, and we're looking at doing 175 divided by cosine of 15. Cosine 15. So that gets us 181.2 feet. So 181.2 feet. All right, so there's our first problem. A lot of times the challenge is pulling the information and try to create some sort of a picture from it. All right. Last one is we're going to find the angle formed by a rod in the mechanical assembly shown here. All right. So, so we have something that's kind of rolling around. Looks like it should be on a train, an old steam engine kind of a thing, where this thing is rolling around. But right now we just want to figure out if this height is 10.6. Right, so that's kind of the maximum distance down, and this rod is at 59 centimeters. What would be the angle that you have going on here? So also a SOHCAHTOA kind of a problem, that from this angle, this is the opposite, and this is down across from the 90, so that makes that the hypotenuse. So if we have opposite and hypotenuse, that means that we're setting up a sine equation. So sine of this angle that we don't know is going to be opposite, which is 10.6 divided by the hypotenuse, which is 59. And we're looking for an angle. The only way we're going to get an angle measurement is to do an inverse sine of whatever that is. So 10.6 divided by 59. All right. So I don't know what that is. We're throwing the calculator. We're going to find out. So inverse sine of 10.6 divided by 59 gives us 10 point, let's see what it says about, doesn't say anything about rounding. So we'll go 10.4. So our angle measurement is 10.4 degrees. Okay. And so that was two application problems that were both involving trig of some kind.